got the tag still on here too somewhere.
Oh crap!
I don't know where it's at though.
You taking it back?
Huh? Heck no. I
do that.
I would
I
be
do it.
so
I
embarrassed to do
I
that.
do, especially if it's something that I can't afford.
But like us small bodies would say, oh, look at those cute twins. Y'all are so handsome. Somebody's got to take a photo. Is everybody nationalized?
Oh, at the same time.
Oh,
they both are. They
Which
wicked
is
twins.
is this the right way, y'all?
Uh-huh.
Let me see if y'all can see this right. Islam. What's your appellations?
Tihama Tarael, Jericho Jeriel.
I love it. How old are y'all?
28.
Oh, I stopped aging at that time too.
I'm Brielle.
Brielle? Islam.
Philadelphia territory. Specifically North.
Oh, you here? Oh. Y'all getting council commission today.
Y'all getting council commission today.
Oh.
Actually, at one of our events last night.
Y'all had an event last night?
Came out of town. Yeah. So it's called High Vibe. Brother by the name of Jamal Bay. Well, Brockton
I was
Bay.
backwards, y'all.
Jamal Flicks.
I gotta flick it around.
He was in Harlem.
Tell me what y'all said.
Delaware. No, I think
See the library.
it's probably
I'm
somebody's
done.
a mix-up,
Turn it.
but this one comes from.
I see y'all now?
The Delaware.
Yeah.
All right, so I gotta switch.
No, just turn this around. Turn this around to
I did that already.
Look, now it's on you.
Oh,
You can see yourself. You good?
where is it? I don't want to see myself.
You should want to see yourself.
I gotta see the board, y'all.
Oh, you wanna
The
see
board gotta
board?
be right. Can y'all see that board? And it says Islam.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Oh, you still gonna see yourself like that?
Here, come
But I
do it
won't be
that
able to
way.
see me.
Oh, you don't want to see you.
I just want to see the board.
Probably
What?
could zoom in.
That's better for your filming, so you can see when you see
There
the
you go.
board and stuff.
Huh?
There you go.
I'm confused. Can you see the board?
Now, yeah. Oh yeah, you
Put
can.
on Islam Moors.
Yes.
If it's
Yes.
the right way.
Yes,
Because
it
I
is.
always, they be like, Sharon,
Sorry.
you can't see the board, it's backwards.
I confused
Yes,
her.
it's the
Go
right.
back. You were saying before we have malfunctions.
Islam. I'm Tihama Tarael. Islam. Jericho Jeriel.
Islam.
Brielle.
Y'all had an event last night?
Yes. So basically, it was us and another brother by the name of Brockton Bay. It's called High Vibe. So basically, we just keep out with some vendors there, playing some frequencies. Some different types of frequencies. Of course, nothing negative, all positive vibes, keeping the energy high. What else? Yeah, we performed a little bit. Then we're performers too.
Okay. So you're the Moors that called me earlier yesterday. I was like, I was so happy. Y'all understand when Moors call me and talk to me, I just be like, thank you. Thank you for calling me. I love it.
And all that.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Let me see. We
also make our all natural food products as well.
vegan products. Make our own natural juice.
All natural food, just
Do yoga, exercise.
I definitely
Alkaline.
have to do
Yes.
that.
We go, baby.
Because I grew.
Alright.
Basically, our natural way as a people.
How
Do
we
you grow your own food?
Not as of yet.
I can help you with that.
Hopefully, when we
That'll be great.
She guarding.
succeed to our ancestral estate, we'll be able to do so.
And I
Yeah,
do.
we will be.
Look, I know that's right.
I'll be messing up, y'all.
Y'all have
Who's
a
my
spot?
cameraman? Cameraman ain't
Y'all
paying
have a
attention.
spot store hunt.
No.
Look at me.
Oh, see, that's why I was trying to tell you. If you flip this around, you'll be able to see yourself and the board and everything else.
But it'd be
How? It's
Watch
gonna be
it.
backwards.
No,
though.
it's not.
This is what we're talking about, Sharon. Young people. They just,
Hey, hook it
Now you
up.
flip this around.
Watch, the board gonna be backwards. I'm gonna be.
Oh shoot, hold on. Yeah, you flip that around. It's not backwards.
What does the word?
Look,
The words is backwards. Look.
to you, the people who watching it getting the mirror image. You getting the mirror image.
Can y'all see Islam on the back? Look, can you see me? Look, what's going on, y'all?
You can't
Let's
see
back.
you.
Oh, let's back it up a little bit. So the board is there. I don't know. Can they see the board? I'm confused.
You see everything. Everything.
Y'all see
you
Islam Moors correct? Oh yes, look, you see it correctly.
Uh-huh.
Wait a minute, no, wait a minute. This is a 10-minute delay, 10-second delay. We gotta wait a second. Look at you right there. See, look, it's backwards.
Oh,
Told you.
that's what you talking about.
Yep.
I didn't know they got the mirror image. So when you go live and do that?
That's why you gotta flip it around and you can't see it.
I didn't
No,
know
you
that.
do.
Sorry, Islam.
Told you.
I'm messing stuff up.
The Neb's in the picture. Look at you and Deb. You trying to duck. You trying to duck.
I didn't know my face was sitting there like that. I'm like,
Baby. All right. What we talking about today, y'all?
every fairy tale ever told was about you.
Every fairy tale ever told was about you, Moors. Can everybody hear? We need sound check. Sound check. Oh, goodness. This is a horrible
I
highlighter.
left it in the car. Oh, so.
Who's laughing?
You was like me.
This highlighter stinks.
Too much there.
Woo!
Oh, you good? Good? Yeah. Yes, sir.
You was in the night.
Where's mine? So those are my copies, or those are copies, or those originals?
These?
Yes.
We
They
printed
look
on
like
Barbie Day.
originals.
Printed on Barbie Day.
Yeah, yeah.
We did.
Those are your original documents, though, or not?
Yes.
Y'all all got originals? Okay, so we just gotta make copies downstairs. Or I'll scan a copy in to the system. And then I'll give you your Magna. Why didn't you email it to me? Y'all have had all y'all stuff taken care of today.
We
Tyson.
It was last minute, I know.
Yeah.
It's last minute, I do get it. So, ooh. That is so not you, and who is this person? Are you a droid? Now you ever watch the movie? Let me tell you, they talk about droids. They talk about. All right, let's talk about. What do y'all want to talk about?
Anything?
Any and everything.
Anything?
Tell us some interesting stuff you think we should know.
Interesting stuff I think you should know. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Where everybody at on the grid? Does everybody know what the grid is?
Yes.
Everybody knows what the grid is?
Yeah.
Yep.
If you don't know what the grid is, don't be shy. Say, I don't know what the grid is.
I'm assuming pretty much the grid of the U.S. Pretty much like their database. I'm guessing like on their grid.
Nope.
No.
Moorishamerican
The
Consulate.
Moorishamerican Consulate grid. And I only have one copy, and I'll just let you guys see it because you've never seen it. And this
You
is
have
just
this one,
how
but
to
I
get
have
on. When we
mine.
talk about how to get on the grid, it's your Moorishamerican Nationality grid, and it's a document that we created so you could be on point as to getting things done. Now, y'all have copies of the grid. I gave them to you. Was it yesterday or day before yesterday? Friday when we were talking about it. In the first grid, the first tier of the grid, everybody in this room has somewhat completed. The only thing you three ladies have to do is send to the 7 locations. And then you'll be done grid 1. You three in the back, you only have to, I don't know if you've done the 7 locations
No.
yet.
not as
So
yet.
you got to do the 7 locations and get your identification cards, your nationality cards, and then you're on the grid. You're done grid 1, and then you got to venture over to grid 2, which is what?
Trust.
Trust. No, she already knows. The second grid of the trust is, the second tier of the grid is trust. And why is that second to nationality? Why do we establish trusts, y'all?
So we can claim our stuff.
For your state and stuff.
For your state.
Children.
Children conveyance.
Come on, Terry.
Beneficiary. Have a beneficiary.
It's kind of like a will. Think of it like a will. You
it's
are
private.
the most wealthiest individuals on the planet. Don't let nobody tell you different. They all wish they could be you. They
Right.
all want to be you. They all been claiming to be you under the nom de guerres, which is the wardship names that we've been identifying under because of our lovely, beautiful mothers, who we love. But they gotta fix some stuff. And they can't sit here and live in denial as to what's going on. Their part that they've played, in subjugating us. And the realities are, we can't sit here and act ignorant to that fact or not deal with that miseducation and denationalization of the children. So how did mom deceive us?
At birth.
At birth. The birth
No,
certificate.
not knowing
Not
that she
knowing.
was
Neither
trying
that
to
title of
tell
nobility.
her she was an informant for the government.
Damn, she said it. Knowing she is knowing she is an informant for the United States Service Corporation, claiming to be a government.
Right.
So, because of her ignorance and her minor status and state, and we talked about status last week. Can anybody recruit what status means?
If I can remember off my head, status, standing, state, condition, social position, the legal.
You doing it? Said turban got you all frequency.
I'm sorry, I get a chance to go over my notes this I don't want to say week, but this
long. This cycle.
Yes.
Because every week's a cycle, right?
Yeah.
If you really knew that you weren't technically 28 years old.
Oh no,
Technically,
I'm just going with
you're
it.
like 1,000.
I definitely
standing
feel
Mm-hmm.
a legal position in the eyes of law.
In the eyes of law and in the eyes of society and status, right? So if you don't have a standing and you don't have a status in society, remember, look, it's still here, y'all, the boats.
Right.
Last week we had boats here and we had an
I've seen
ocean.
that.
If you don't have a standing and a status and you claim to be a United States citizen, which you can never be, you're floating out here in the water. And the ships are admiralty law, and the ships are claiming you as salvaged property. Islam. So if you don't have a standing and status in society as a mother, and you don't know who you are, you're translating that down to your heirs, regardless if you're ignorant of it, regardless if you know it, not know it. That is exactly what you're doing. You are creating the mother, the informant, because what is she doing? She's informing the world as to her status and the status that her children have because of her ignorance, right? And this is what mothers all across Morocco, claiming to be Negro colored, Black, African American, Afro American, Puerto Rican, etc., 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 have to correct. You don't have a choice in the matter. You have to correct that error that you made when you created the children and you signed documents that you did not know you were signing. Law only treats the people in their national capacity. So even though we know under contract law, what do we know under contract law? There's about 12 elements that have to be present for a contract to be binding, but only people that are subject or that can stand on the laws in contract law are people who have a standing in society. Meaning you're in your proper person and you are no longer dead in the eyes of law. So when you go into their kangaroo tribunals claiming to be courts and claiming to be government, I mean, today they're not even playing with you anymore. I mean, I'm sorry, they're not even acting anymore. They're acting exactly as their descent nature, which is not the same as yours, and I'm going to leave it at that. They're in there playing house. It's like playing house. Like you remember when you were young, you would play house. Sometimes the sons would play with us. They had little Ken dolls. That's what they do all day because they literally been eating, claiming you because you out here to see and you're not recognizing your nationality, which is your Moroccan heritage. So when we watch Dorothy, what is it? What is Dorothy on? Wizard of Oz, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty. What's the other ones?
Matrix.
Cinderella.
Did you say who?
Matrix.
The Matrix. When you're thinking about all of these movies, they're talking about the Moors and how and their lost estate. And don't get it twisted. I love all those shows, every last one of them. And then when you're watching them with your eyes wide open, you see them from a whole different point of view and perspective. You get kind of mad though. I ain't gonna front. And then when you look at, I was just watching Potion number 9 yesterday. Just tell you, I wasn't watching it. My sister was watching it, and I just happened to come in and just sat down and was like, Potion number 9. And there was a segment in that movie. I know everybody gonna watch it now because it's on one of those shows. Everybody's gonna watch it because a section of the movies where this woman drunk some of the potion, but she took a potent shot of the potion, so every man around was drawn to her. So she was running down the street and there's like thousands of men running after her, and there was a team of about 12 Masonic sons from the Masonic Lodge, Albion Sons, with the fezzes on, and they had it with the scimitar and a crescent moon that was turned upside down, which is to say they were subjugating the Moabite woman. Islam?
Right.
Oh my God, Tiger actually made it to class. I definitely gotta put him on blast. Gotta do it. It's just give them an applause. Islam Tiger. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You need a chair? Oh, you can sit there too. You got a table. And you got a plug. Okay, good. So,
Thank you for the attention.
so one of the things I want to talk about today is what's really going on, as well as realizing that the trust is very important because all of your property you don't own. If whatever you so-called purchased, because we don't purchase anything, we transfer. We transfer from one trust to another trust. Property. Everything that you purchased, you think you purchased prior to nationality, you don't own.
Right.
Nor have you ever owned.
Right.
And you got to come to the realization why you don't own it, because you didn't even own yourself. You didn't own yourself, and you were identifying as property, and based on Christian Black Code, property cannot do what?
Own
Can't own property. So they give you a so-called certificate of ownership, or they give you, or you register it, right? So everything that you so-called purchased, because when you went to those particular businesses, you used fiat one, which is not money. Not only did you use fiat, you was talking as if you were the name, which you're not. So you created the sin first. You created the sin by identifying as those brands, but mom was the informant, and she's the one that told you who you were. She's the one who told you you were a Negro, Black, and colored individual. By saying that and accepting that title and establishing the birth certificate and the social security card, she denationalized you and made you property of someone else. We love mom. That's probably why she only got 1 day a year, because of that. I'm just saying. Because you praise your mother every day of the year. You don't wait 1 day of the year and give all your so-called energy that you've expensed in these POW camps or in these JOBs, and then give it right back to the people oppressing you. On 1 day of the year, promoting something that you should not be promoting. Because we love our mothers. Don't get it twisted. I love my mom. But if she was still here, I'd be like, why you do that to me? We gotta stop coming to them as, oh, I'm a Moor. No, mom, you did some stuff to me and you gotta fix it. Make them feel bad. I would if my mom was here, my dad was here. I'm just telling y'all. My mom and my dad are not here. My grandmom is not here on both sides. I was like, so I don't have to go to them and be like, look, you destroyed our culture. You destroyed our heritage. You fed us colonialism. And don't apologize for that, because they have to feel the pain that they're putting you through. Because right now they're feeling as though you are doing some radical thing when you're fixing their sin. And we got to call it what it is. And I'm here so we can stop acting as if going to church and praising some fake God is going to alleviate the sin you and I were in. Okay? Because every time we signed a contract, every time we signed whatever we did, we were doing sin because we were operating outside of ourselves. And because we were doing that, everybody else had the right, because we're property and you can treat property how? Any way you want. Because does property feel?
No.
Can property be injured?
No.
Can property scream?
No.
So if you can treat property any old way you want, and many of your children are identifying as property, do you have a responsibility, mothers? Do you have a responsibility to fix that?
Yes.
Get it done. But like I said, and I'm not going to apologize for it, I'm going to bang that ass till the bones bleed. Look, I'm about to say the nose bleed. Go and bang it. Because it's my responsibility to wake you up. You have to wake up. Some people talk about, well, it's not time for them to wake up. Excuse me?
It's big. Like,
We're 100 years
How
late.
long you
100
stay
years
asleep
can't
is how
find.
long your children will be victimized and brutalized. And as a mother of 3 children in the world, you waking up. And I'm not going to stop until your bones bleed. And that means when you say, Sharon, all right, I'm going to do this paperwork just so you can leave me alone. All right, we'll get it done. Because that's the only reason I'm here. So you can stop deceiving your babies. Like I go into Asiatic neighborhoods where the Asiatics dwell in. The scenes that I see is deplorable. Y'all don't raise your children. They run all over in the streets. They're freaking hungry. They're being, they got policy enforcers running up and down the streets, victimizing your children, and you are the cause for that. And I ain't making no apologies for it. I'm going to make you feel bad until you fix the sin you placed us in. For those people who can't sign documents on their own and say, I'm a Moorish American national and come to venues like this or watch venues like this on TV. So they can fix the sin Mom put you in. So maybe that should have been the name of this class today, or the title, because we use titles of this class. Fix the sin your mom put you in.
Oh, yeah.
You want me to write that down?
How about Mom put us in sin, let's fix it.
Oh, we don't like that. Correct the sin.
Your mom put you in, so let me
Your mom put you in.
I guess that works. Correct the sin your mom put you in.
Okay.
Correcting the sin.
And what's law that supports your ability to correct the sin your mother put you in by not knowing who she was? Nationality. And what laws protect you? We got the rights of the indigenous. We got the American rights of the indigenous. And let's correct the misnomers that people think that anybody who's not Asiatic is in America. You are absolutely not. The only Americans here that domicile in North Africa are Moors. They're Moors. Even if they're declared or undeclared, even if they're identified as Negro, colored, and blacks as informants. So let's say blacks are informants. Maybe we should say that.
It's a holy thing.
But they are, though, because they don't have full control over themselves.
Not only that, why are they informants? Because don't they keep telling on you?
Brainwash.
And who they telling on you with, too?
Policy
Colonizers.
Policy
enforcers. The outlaws, bandits, and the terrorists. Out here acting like your government, because you sitting out here acting like these people.
Right.
Yeah.
Informants.
Yes.
And what are some of the ways that they do these things? What are some of the ways they do these things?
Oh, yeah, cool.
By being out of their status.
By being out of their status, by being ignorant to law, by being ignorant to the fact that we all came from the same mother. One mother gave us all something, so we all are united, and we all are brothers and sisters, technically. Technically. Human family, right? So if your brother is in adversity, you're supposed to what? And if your sister's in need, you're supposed to what? Are you supposed to be going and calling an Albion to sit here and arrest your brothers and sisters? No. So why are we doing that? Are you supposed to be asking them for services and resources? No. Why are we doing that? Are we supposed to be calling them government? No. Well, why are we doing that? Ignorance, right?
We have law on our side.
We got law on our side. You got law on our side. You got your ancestors sitting here trying to bang your head up against the wall to get you to realize that your blacks are informants and you got to correct the sin your mother put you in. You have no choice. We're here. Everybody wants to look at the Moors as, oh my God, they have to talk to us a little calmly. Right. They have to, we feel like y'all are attacking us. Excuse me? No. We're not attacking. You're attacking.
Exactly.
Because of what's in here that's wrong and bad, useless information that makes you an informant, you're using against your brothers and your sisters. Because you shouldn't have to ask anybody, where are you going to get some food? Where are you going to live? Who's going to take you somewhere? You shouldn't have to ask any of these things because you're the richest people on the planet.
Absolutely.
And they all have to do what? Listen to you as the sovereigns. And do we know what sovereign means?
Yes, self-governing. One who has supreme political authority.
And what does government mean?
Supervision of the mind.
So if you don't have supervision of your own mind, then you have to be under other people, right? Because you can't control your own mental. You can't control where you get food. You can't control where you sleep. You can't control who you sleep with. That means you're a minor. That means somebody has to take care of you.
Right.
Albions don't have to because they don't have status here at Morocco. And what's about to come down the pipeline in about a week? Everybody gonna start paying the government to be here at Morocco. And people, it is your responsibility to, the part of the reasons why the trust is so important is because you have to start tiling up property.
Yep.
Because the government, the Moorish National Republic federal government, can't do all accounting. That's where all Islam, that's where all you sovereigns come in. That's where, if you domicile near the corporate territory of North Carolina, you're supposed to be tiling up all that. And then you sending out bills. And then, go ahead. You're sending out bills to them. Like, look, you're squatting on my land. Nobody gave you permission to do that. You've been here since, 1874, 75, because you give us all timestamps on when you got here. So that's when the bill started.
Right.
Not from when we first send you the first bill. Just like how they'll send you a bill and be like, oh, you owe $2,000. Oh, can I make it a payment arrangement? Well, how much you want to make in a payment arrangement? About 20. All right, but that's not going to pay anything down. So guess what? We're going to use the same thing on you. Well, you've been squatting on our land since 1871, and you haven't made any payments. How are you going to take care of that? Oh, you can't pay in Federal Reserve notes because that's not money. You got to pay in silver gold coinage. How are you going to take care of that? Well, all I got is about 2 silver. All I can do right now is about 2 silver coins a day. I mean, a month. All right, well, you got to start somewhere. But realize your ancestors gave you that debt. Don't get mad at me for realizing it.
That's right.
And we got to get to that point, Morris.
Yes.
We got to get to that point, and that's why the trust is so important, because once you get the trust done, and you get it recorded, and you get it put it on a public platform, now you're moving into property acquisition. Revenuing in your own Moorish estate, and that's what we were talking about the last 2 classes. The last 2 classes we were talking about property conveyancing the property back into your Islam, into your estate. Because guess what? Y'all don't understand how freaking wealthy y'all are. Because right now everybody's squatting on your land like, oh my God, can somebody stop Sharon from talking? She's telling everybody we squatting. She's telling everybody we sitting here picking these apples and these oranges and these grapes, and we ain't paying the nationals for that. We erected all these buildings on their land. Thank you, because everything erected here is ours. And they breathing. Yup, there was a movie about that. There was a movie, Landmarks. It was a Disney movie, or it was one of those Pixar
We
movies.
can go further. Shaka Zulu. That's mandatory. That's imperative. Y'all watch that.
Shaka Zulu?
Watch that documentary on Shaka Zulu.
Okay.
That's mandatory.
He talked about a documentary on Shaka Zulu. Watch the documentary.
If you haven't seen it, listen to what they're talking about.
Islam.
Yeah.
What was it talking about? Give us a little preview.
Going in on who was a sovereign ruler or king
Islam.
of the land.
Yeah.
And he told Peter the Dutchman that your Christ or whoever you're trying to tell me about has no authority or jurisdiction in this land.
Islam. There you go. Oh, I love it.
If your king can make you go to war, King Georgie, if he can make you go to war, and he can have you not go to war, he has control of your life.
That's right.
Not the Christ that you say has all this
I love that.
mythological power, whatever. And in this land right here, I am the king.
Islam.
I'm the king. I'm the Lord.
Islam.
So if I can make you go to war and not go to war, because right now you're disposable to me.
Islam.
So that's the message
That
that
is
he was
awesome.
He's got a point.
and the fact that he was the last. They admitted in Great Britain that he was the last pharaoh. He's like the Pope or the king and all that stuff in one. That's what they were saying about Shaka. So when he went down there, they had to brief them on how powerful they were in Zulu land.
Islam.
He's got a point, because CMA, I think you read it in one of your videos. It was 2 empires, and I read it in the Clock of Destiny. And the Christian Empire on the Order of Christ. Heck, all you gotta do is open up the pineal gland. You're Christ. That's a title.
Right.
So that eliminates that.
That
means what they were talking about Jesus Christ.
Right.
That's a scam.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we are
already know
Jesus
that.
Christ.
Right.
That's a scam.
And the Pope just
That leaves the Moorish Empire on the Order of Islam.
Their Pope just admitted that their the whole thing that the church was speaking on was about it being a secret. Everything that they were promoting all these years and stuff it was a secret to keep us away from knowing the truth. So if you go to church on Sunday, you're not really practicing the ancient ways of you know, the 7th day, make it
Distracted.
holy and all that. It's a
That's
Sabbath.
denationalization.
It's a holy day.
Yeah,
That's
see?
what that is.
Exactly.
That leaves the Moorish Empire, the order of Islam, not faith, not religion.
No.
I, self-law and master.
Right.
Hey, I,
Perfect.
self-law and master, Christ.
Right.
Islam.
And perfecting the art of self-mastery.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, there you
Right.
go. So really,
Great I am.
Yeah.
The great I am.
Number 9.
And
The
Why do you
greatest
think it
she.
was so
The greatest
important? Why do you think it was so important for them to send out those missionaries, and their mission was denationalization?
Right.
And you know, even though we want to sit here and make it seem like, you know, when they show I guess their efforts on TV, they go find. I think it's all fabricated, because if you go to the so-called continent of Africa, you'll see how wealthy and how beautiful the landmass is,
Right.
and how these people are not living in that way. They paint a particular picture because they know our people here are what?
Brainwash.
Informants. And we go like, I can keep coming up with these terminologies just so it can hit home. Your pineal gland is what I'm reaching for. I'm reaching for your pineal gland in your so-called emotions, because I just heard. I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there. But the point I'm trying to make, and the point that he made with Shaka Zulu, and that was a great point, is that you are the sovereigns of the land, and the only time a person can kind of get you out of that status is to say that they have something that's better than what you have. And what the Albions did when they came to every landmass that they came on, they brought Christendom, or Islam, or not Islam, or Muslim faith. They did those two things, but Christianity was a little bit more prevalent, because that was it depended on who you were under. The Vatican, the Queen. But their ultimate goal was to hypothecate. But they can't hypothecate you if you're in your proper status. They can only hypothecate you if they can get you to believe it to be a black. If they can get you to denationalize yourself, now you're outside of law, and they don't have to worry about the karmatic debt that they're going to experience by killing you. Because now you've accepted to be property of them. So when you're property, what? What happens when you're property? People can do what?
Anything they want.
They can do anything they want to you. So all these people all across the continents, have agreed to be property. And that's why they're exterminating you all over these other countries, is because you cater to the fraud. Right. And if you didn't do it, it was your so-called leaders, because we got to get out of the habit of having so-called one sovereign. Because everybody is sovereign in their own right. And if they choose to come together with a group of other Moors and create states or nations, they have every right to do so. But at the end of the day, they can disband that contract at will. Islam, and this is kind of part of the issue that Moors be having, because you know when we get mad at each other, or we want to change something, we're like, I don't like the way you're doing that, Sharon. Well, I can do it this way. Well, I'm going to just create a whole nother nation over here. And that's kind of what we did. We were creating nations and nations and nations, even though we belong to the same empire. We're fighting each other. So we got to accept that responsibility, and that is the only way the Albion was able to come in and create black informants with their Christendom ideology, because it ain't nothing but a way to deceive the Aboriginal Indigenouses to come outside of their own culture to assassinate them. And the reality is, would mother be mad at you if you came outside of yourself? Heck yeah, because she can't protect you. Because law is absolute in its nature. And if you go outside of yourself and you go outside of nature, that's just like, okay, we have a culture where as though we know how to plant, we know how to cure ourselves, we know how to age or not age, create life or not create life. We know how to do everything naturally. But then when we come outside of that, and now you have so-called people who are identifying as blacks, now they go out to the nature, they don't know how to do nothing. They don't know how to do nothing, and they end up dying in the woods. How you dying in the woods when you came from there?
Right, it's a part of it.
So even then we are deemed outlaw, and then they can do what they want to us.
Yes, and then the animals will come up against you because what? Why are they coming up against you? Because you outside of alignment. You don't know how to talk to them. You don't know how to do any of the things that you knew naturally how to do in your own culture and heritage. So genocide is a very, very bad thing, because you're unable to defend yourself. And now you have these shows where these Albions be going on nature survival things. They go on nature. Now they're trying to figure out how to survive back in nature because that's probably where they're going to be thrust back into once we kick them off the land, which already started. Many already left. We only dealing with the peons. They ain't got nowhere to go. Y'all gotta watch the stuff that's going on in South Africa. Pay attention.
Yes.
Pay attention to what they're doing. They're being a little brutal, or at least it's being suggested that they're being brutal. Because we're not over in Africa reporting. And if you're not over there reporting, can you really rely on anything that's being told to you on television? Because everything that's been told to you on that platform has been lying to you. And that's why you sit here when a policy enforcer comes over, you roll your window down. Why are you rolling your window down? You're engaging. You're submitting to jurisdiction. Did y'all? Everybody saw the white pickup truck. Everybody saw that, and that's all that I'll say is the white pickup truck. And everybody know what I'm talking about.
You know what you're talking about.
Because it was a white pickup truck before everybody know, but now it's a white pickup truck. Everybody.
Everybody.
If you want to, you can paint the hood red and put a star on it.
If he was claiming to be nigga,
If you want to.
whatever.
Why not? You do whatever you want. You're sovereign.
He'd have been shot. They'd have shot him in the car.
Exactly. So think about that video. He knew what he was talking about. Let me tell you, that spirit got through him. His ancestors was talking through him. He's like, y'all got no jurisdiction. Who are y'all? Y'all outlaws, bandits, and terrorists. Fuck out of here. That's what he said. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Y'all gotta realize the game. The game has been pulled over you, but guess what? You're not ignorant to the game anymore.
No.
Now you absolutely know what it is. And now they're subject. They're like, man, I don't know if I want to pull this person over. I'm scared to pull that person over. So now they got to think about it. They got to think about who they pulling over. They going to get leaned. The corporation they work for going to fire them because they got leaned. Because if our liens weren't working, everything wouldn't be shutting down. And Albions would be mad when we leave them, and then they wouldn't be mad and hiding their so-called badges so you can't see who they are. These are all behaviors of a what? Outlaw, terrorist, bandit, highwayman. Islam, yup. This mean, that joint going viral all over. Because Moors are realizing, unconscious Moors are realizing, oh my God, I really did hit my head. But no, you didn't. You got hurt the sin your mama put you in. And you got to talk to mama and be like, you put me in this sin. I don't care if she get mad at you. She gonna get mad because people don't like to realize that they did something wrong. But it's about correcting, huh?
Not when they have Jesus.
And they be so.
No.
But guess what? You ain't got to fight with your mom. You ain't got to fight with your mom. You ain't got to sit here and argue with your mom.
Call himself the pastor.
All you got to do is be yourself. She gonna come to the light because she ain't got no other choice.
One way or another.
She ain't got no other choice because it's gonna get to the point where that corporate ID that she loves to sit here and wave around, she ain't gonna be able to use that nowhere. And it's going and it's gonna be the difference between those who have that and those who have a nationality identification card. Who goes into those processing plants till you get re-educated as to what's really going on. Islam? Alright, I want to. Did anybody write that down? Correct? Because I'm gonna rename or retitle this video. Correct? The sin your mother put you in. Islam? And how did she do that? How did she put you in sin?
She told him what time.
She probably didn't
She
even know
told him
those.
what time, what sex, what date.
She told him everything about you, man.
How much you
She
weigh.
gave up your paper. She was like, I had him on the 7th of January at 6 o'clock in the a.m.
Yes.
He weighs this. I mean, she gave your whole astrological chart to the hypothesis.
And a footprint.
That's why she's an
And
informant.
blood.
And your footprint.
Well, you
She
touched
gave your
it.
And the
footprint.
blood.
She gave all your blood. She gave all of your typing. So they could put you in their database as property, and whenever they needed a limb, a heart, a lung, food, anything, they came and that's why the policy enforcers are riding in your neighborhoods, because when they need to collect on something, they go kill someone. And they're killing property.
Yes, they are.
getting that
That's how
insurance.
dangerous. That's how dangerous it is. And then they sit here and don't get charged, and they get so-called acquitted for all of the violence. Why? Why they getting? Why they not going to jail for killing people, y'all?
Because they
It's not
property.
people.
Because they property.
Property.
They property.
Not people either.
Not people. And then what does mommy do when she loses her son or her daughter?
Go on
She does
TV.
what?
Go on
Right,
TV.
She gives
She go on TV. What else does
She
she
gives
do?
them everything they need with the if
She
they
get-
go to jail.
But who does she call?
The cop.
Al Sharpton.
Oh, they passed.
Oh,
it.
Who is Al Sharpton?
An informant.
He's an informant. He's the
Well,
biggest
what is
informant.
he? He's a damn attorney.
Oh yeah, Turner. Turner.
So not only so she thinks she gonna get a payout
Pastor.
for them killing her baby. I'm just saying, we gotta get our heads out the sand.
Negro opinion.
We gotta get our heads out the sand, and we gotta realize what sin we are in and correct it. Because everybody has a right to a nationality. If mommy does not nationalize her babies, who has the right to nationalize her babies?
Father.
Who else?
Ourselves.
Who else?
Themselves.
Everybody. You don't have to be the daddy or the sister or the aunt or the cousin or the uncle. Every Moorish American national has the right to nationalize any child that is born to a woman who refuses to nationalize her baby.
Right.
Everybody does. It ain't just the people who are closest. Everybody does. Because she's violating natural law and she's reducing her children to property where people can do whatever they want to do to them. And now you see a lot of different articles talking about facilities, schools of higher stupidity. Schools where they teach your children how to genocide not only themselves, but whatever community they go to. Now in schools they have what? Guns? Do they have guns?
Yeah.
Do they sit here and
Yeah.
arrest your
No,
babies
they do.
inside those facilities?
They have policy
They
enforcement
press
in the
charges.
schools.
The teachers press charges, right?
Yep.
And then when you go to the so-called hospitals, they run you in the hospital. They run you in the hospital. And if you go in there for a chest cold and come out with a missing kidney because they told you your kidney was bad, somebody else got your kidney.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, watch Get Out. Stop acting fun. Stop acting play. Don't act like they got to take you to a lost little place where you with your Becky girlfriend and then take all your internal organs. Because first of all, who's supposed to be with Becky? Bob. Bob.
Dylan.
Kareem, Hasim, Malik ain't supposed to be with Becky.
Right.
And shouldn't be going anywhere Becky tells them to go. So if you go with Becky, and I'm your mom, right? And you bring Becky home, I'm like, who's that? You're an adulteress. I'm gonna say that. And that's for the mamas when they, and that's for the Moabites when they bring Bob home too.
That's right.
Look,
Early.
I love you dearly. You're my daughter.
We don't do that.
Right back up.
Islam. I love you dearly, daughter. But here's my thing. I'm going to put you in my trust, but I ain't leaving jack to you.
There you go.
Because that baby, that man, or that woman is going to kill you and take your stuff. Feel how you got to feel about what I just said.
Yeah.
But you are not supposed to be outside of your nationality or nativity. Feel how you gotta feel. I don't care no more, because I'm gonna bang that ass till the bones bleed. I ain't playing.
Bang that ass to the bone.
I love that. I don't even know where I got that from. I got married a couple days ago and just like, you know what, I like bang that ass.
One of the warrior spirits just came through. That's what that was.
Ooh, y'all know that Sag is coming, man. Y'all ain't ready for it. Y'all fully not. She gonna be flying all the places she need to go. And y'all gonna be like, Sharon, where'd you just come from? Egypt.
Well,
Oh, I'm
okay.
sorry, Matt.
Okay. Can
'Cause I'ma be-
Can
I'ma
I get
be-
on?
Can you get on? You gotta be flying with me. You gotta get it because everybody got the ability
To fly,
do
right.
all things. Because what? Does anybody read the Circle 7 Quran? And I didn't bring it
Go
up.
ahead, Mom.
Oh, everybody got the Circle 7?
Right.
So you said
You got the Circle 7? Oh, you got it? Oh, Circle 7.
Okay.
All right, I gotta think of where it was.
Oh, there you go.
Which one you want?
I gotta think for a second. The first chapter, which don't even have a chapter, is my first and my favorite. I'm just gonna tell you. In the first chapter, they talk about the powers and the sovereignty you have. You have sovereignty not only of beasts in the fields, but of energy, of light, of everything here. Do you know the grass that grows, the herbs that grow based on your chemical properties? So if you're sick, you're going to get some stuff to grow to help you. Based on, that's why you should take your shoes off and walk in the grass, lay in the grass, talk to the grass. You're supposed to give back to what it gives you. Because it's giving you all the nutrients you need as well as the sun.
Yes.
It's giving you everything. But guess what you be seeing? Old Asiatics walking around with umbrellas. And I ain't even going front. I used to do the same thing. In my early 20s, I used to walk around with the darn thing on because I was just as deceived as everybody else because of the sin my mother put me in. So you see all these people blocking the sun rays. Why? Which is why you vitamin D deficient. Because you're hiding from the sun. And the sun trying to heal you so you can stop being so, acting like Dorothy who bumped her head and get to that pineal gland. So you can wake up. Right? I was like, so walk with your feet out. And guess what, mothers, you're supposed to be doing on your menstrual, your most highly potent, highly positive, highly strength self on your menstruals when you're bleeding. And guess what they told you about your bleeding? You just dirty.
Yeah.
Ew. Get away from me. Ew. Don't touch me. You're unclean. You are the most powerful when you are on your moon time than any other time. Whatever you're thinking on that time, you're manifesting on that time. So women, stop wearing tampons and get you a Dixie cup. Okay? Get you a Dixie cup and pour your beautiful blood onto the earth so she can be healed.
Yep.
Because guess who's doing that already? The people that the earth don't want blood from.
Right.
And I'm just gonna say it.
Oh, wow.
You do not need to pluck your finger like everybody else to produce blood for yourself because it comes naturally every month. So enjoy your periods, love yourself, and realizing, oh, look at you, and realize the so-called cycles are cycles of ending and beginnings. It's ending, it's manifesting in the fruition of a manifestation. And I don't want to go into deep. Oh, look at you.
I'll let you disseminate those that you know.
Oh, we got papers. We have the Masonic Gate. We have the Masonic Gate. Islam. You ain't got no chair? Come on with it. Do I owe you anything? You got everything you need, right?
No, you don't owe me nothing.
Oh, I love when people come and tell me I don't owe them nothing.
She said she
Like,
you owe you.
Every mother in the
love
room.
it,
How
love
about
it.
that?
Free.
Huh?
I owe you and every mother in the room.
Islam, let me tell you. Then you owe your mom too. How's your mom? Y'all gotta start talking to him. I don't care. Y'all don't want to have that fight. It ain't gonna be no fight, y'all, because y'all got law on y'all side.
I already tried.
And the ancestors will help you. Because guess what the ancestors going to do for you when you start talking to them and they ignore? Because guess what? You have to start talking to them and they have to ignore your talking for the ancestors to do anything. So the ancestors start giving them bad dreams.
Yeah.
They won't be able to sleep. This is why they take all types of pills. They take a pill to go down, pill to get up. They're going to start messing with them. And they need to be messed with. They'll give them dreams of past life experiences. All of these things. So don't stop talking to your moms and your dads and your aunts and your uncles. Don't stop talking to them whenever they talk about black. No, my baby's is Moorish American nationals.
Yeah.
Nope, my baby's not going to no schools. Sorry. Nope, they're not going there. I was like, you know what I'm saying? And even if they try to correct you, nope. You only had the ability to denationalize and keep your babies in sin when they were little. And people around you didn't know. But you know now, you ain't got to wait. If you got a cousin that want to nationalize, look, get the work done. So at least you got, and keep it in your persons. So if something go down, and you got to take your butt down there and be like, nope, here national, here's this damn nationality document, here's his nationality ID. We ain't waiting for mommy. I'm sorry, we ain't waiting for you. We're going to keep this theme, this shit going. And we're going to pick up all our people. I wish I would make you redraw it. We're going to pick up all our Moorish heirs. We even going to pick your butt up. Put all your family members. We don't have family members, y'all. I hate using that term, but I know I use it because y'all used to it. Because we don't have, kinship is good. I like tribe, clan, because we don't have families because that denotes to slavery. Okay? And I only use it because people, when I start saying tribes, people disconnect. You got to realize you want to keep them connected.
Right.
And when you use terminology they're not accustomed to, it'll disconnect.
Right.
So we got to realize that sometimes we utilize these nom de guerre terminologies because, connotative, because we want the people not to disconnect. So sometimes we're going to use them, but don't say, oh, she said citizen. I thought you were sovereign. We're sovereigns. Everybody else is a subject. And that's in what lawful document? I wish I had the docket. Now, everybody has to download the binder for newly nationalized Moors. It's in the file section of the Facebook group, Moorish American Consulate, N.E. Amexum. Moorish American Consulate, N.E. Amexum. It's a whole file section. I'll be updating the website to have everything on it. Give me a little bit of time, y'all. I'm like a one-woman show, man. Ugh. I need consuls that can be here. That can be in this building with me. And then don't look down at your paper. Don't do that. Because I have way more work to do. I have 1,400 emails.
Oh, wow.
I just want y'all to know it's a lot. Y'all want me, Sharon, to do. So don't get mad and start talking crap on Facebook, YouTube. Sharon, I sent you this on... All right, well, here's your MAC number. Thank you. Bye. Time never was. This is chapter 1. The creation and the fall of man. And what is a man?
Mind.
Huh?
Man meaning mind.
Mind? Oh, that's interesting. Anybody else have a definition of man? Oh, she got a hardback. Where you get a hardback?
This is from
Dr. York.
Oh, that's... Oh!
Yeah,
How
we
old
had
is
the
that?
same one
Oh, you
years
got one
ago.
too? Where y'all get y'all's?
Amazon. We used
Amazon has them? How much?
$7.
He used to sell.
Oh, I'm getting one.
We used to sell.
them.
Y'all did? Well, y'all got extras?
We were in the nation. No, we don't have extra more. That was
Let me
back
see.
in the 90s.
Oh, I like it because it's hardback.
I like it because it's green. It's the same.
Ooh.
When I first pulled
I love it.
seen that green.
Here you go, baby.
Oh,
Look at this one, y'all. I love it because it's a hardback, and I be beating up paper packs. Because I take them everywhere I go.
They got
And-
need the more science too.
Look, she got this. I love it. And they got it where?
Yeah,
I love it.
But
my first
even though he had some issues, he shouldn't be in prison.
first teacher.
Look, we ain't going to talk about that. We don't know what's going on. We don't know nothing. Because keep in mind, a lot of our sons and mothers, but we're going to just stick with the sons because y'all the ones. We got to take our medicine because the reasons why y'all beat us up is because we beat y'all up. And we denationalized y'all. We denationalized y'all and we gave you absolutely nothing to defend yourself through colonialism. And that's our sin. That's mommy's sin because she had sons and she didn't give them what he needed to not only defend himself, to be a productive member of society. And when he went out there to be that, the society ostracized him. Not only did he, and then the mothers or the women he chose to be with forced him into a lot of ways of making livings that was outside of even divinity, outside of law and in the so-called codes that they were in because mother put them in there. So when we sit here and be talking about people incarcerated, they're incarcerated because of mom. Y'all got to accept that. Mommy, all of the baby sons and the daughters that are incarcerated because you denationalized them and you didn't give them anything to defend themselves through colonialism. And you have to accept that responsibility because all of them are in there because 1, they don't know who they are. 2, they don't know law. So they don't know who they are, and they don't know law, and they don't realize that they are somebody's property. And they don't have a hell's chance in figuring out how to get out of that situation. And then they get a so-called attorney that in addition deceives them. And all they're doing this to, not because they love you, mother, or they're praising you because they only give you 1 day a year, but because they're tapping into your estate while giving you social security services, so-called unemployment, and so-called welfare. And they're taking your credit, leaving you with the debt, and if you don't so-called pay the debt, putting your babies in POWs.
That is very true. 'Cause
It's absolutely
my mother
true.
kept saying, they're not going to believe you. You're going to jail.
Because she's an informant.
And
she
she brought,
made
she
you
brought my
ignorant.
brother-in-law
Yeah, my mom.
to the hearing for him to kill me. I'm wearing my fez and everything. I'm like, God.
She's an informant.
Wow.
Yeah, I was being killed.
She's an informant. You should have leaned your mom.
Dang, she don't care. She don't get no fucks. We ain't everybody.
I'm gonna bang that ass until the bones bleed. Y'all have to realize it can be seen as fun, but what our people are dealing with.
Right.
Because you haven't necessarily been involved or been subject to the brutalities that a lot of our babies are facing here as well as in other countries.
Yes.
Think about all of the articles that you see where all these bow-bites women are missing
Yes.
and sons are missing.
And not
Why are they
exposed.
missing? Because of her.
Dang.
We're going to accept this and deal with it, or we're going to continue to just be slaves and enslaved and subjugated by everybody else. Because we got to realize when mom had babies, she sent them to institutions. She sent them to all these places to further the sin. They have no security or protection. None. So when they go into these tribunals, these individuals don't even try to make an appearance to be lawful at all when they're talking to you. Because they know you were in sin first, and this is the woman that put you there. We had children with social security cards in birth certificates. We didn't know. Is ignorance of the law an excuse for breaking it?
No.
Can you use that as a defense to get out of anything that you do?
No.
There's a movie. I don't ever remember the name of it when I say it, but it's a movie. It was called.
Well, describe it.
I don't know. In the movie, it was a community where everybody was given daily injections to keep them docile. What's the name of it? Y'all gonna come up with it. When y'all come up with it, let me know.
I just got chills.
They gave them medicines every day, and only one individual was allowed the secrets in the knowledge of the whole community. That's how they kept it in like a vault, right? But it was one particular individual who had a specific job.
The battery is on 13.
The father,
The battery just went 13.
oh my God, don't nobody got to back up? Can't have that going on. Thank you for saying that.
You can plug it into your computer.
I'm sorry, I'm going to take this. Plug it. The computer is not going to charge it the way it needs to charge it. Come on, dude.
I couldn't.
No, I don't need to hear your excuses.
Shit, you know what I'm doing.
Oh, this thing is so, it ain't gonna reach. What you doing? What you doing? Oh, okay. How's it gonna reach? You don't have to move
You
it.
had it closer, right?
Just move it. It's fine. I ain't been writing on the board for real. Just so it can.
Yeah, that's good.
Is it only on that side? No.
You gotta turn
Can't
it
see
this
it.
way.
Turn it, bring it in this
Turn
way.
it this
Upside
way.
down.
Huh?
Where's it at? Plug it.
Oh. You gonna have to just come over here.
That's over there.
Take the phone out, turn it on the other side.
I don't know what to do, y'all. I'm just gonna. Is
Just
it?
move this first.
Is it back? Oh shucks. Huh?
Does it look fine?
I don't know what's going on. We'll find out.
Oh, it's supposed to look.
Is it focused? Can you see my head, or is everybody gonna complain my head cut off?
Let me stand where you are.
If I stay back here, and if I don't look,
You need to
is
come
it
up
cool
a little
here?
bit.
You can come up.
I can come up. I don't want to go in here for something. I forgot what it was.
Sir,
I forgot what it was. What was I talking about? The Social Security. What was I talking about?
Yeah, the Social
Mommy's-
Security, the mom putting you in
How she put us in there.
form.
She so did, y'all. And now she trying to act like she ain't got no responsibility. She put all her babies in sin. She deceived us all. And I'm not mad at her. She just got to fix it. That's all. Just fix it.
Oh, you was looking
just
for
be
the fly.
open to fix it, huh?
You were looking for the fly in the Quran.
The fly.
Yeah, how we were gonna all fly to the
No, you wanted me to find the fly. So you could fly. You all
or
are
something like
Superman.
that.
We were talking about man, right? Because it said the time never was, the fall and the creation of man. What is man?
Oh, that's what you read.
Oh.
Yeah, what is a man? Nobody's gonna help me with this?
Man
It's
means
not.
mine, like the brother
Man
said.
means mine. What else is a man?
A straw man.
A woman with a womb.
Oh, a woman with a woman.
A man is both male and female. That's all I'm trying to say.
Oh, I thought it was
A
something
man
different.
is a male and a female. So when they sit here talking about man, women automatically takes herself out of that equation. Again, sin, man, y'all be tripping. We be really tripping. We be taking ourselves out of everything, out of all the powerful things. When could man be here, or can a male be here without you?
No.
Man
So-
can't even
But that's what they
participate.
do
He gotta-
anyway.
he can't produce himself. He got to get permission from the woman.
Thank you.
Right.
So who's powerful?
The woman. The woman.
Okay. And there's something that needs to be said, because men had an agreement to come here through the womb man. And that agreement would be that you are less than, but equal to, but less than.
Pretty much.
Because can you see as far as I can see?
No.
No.
Why?
They don't got no imaginations.
Well, that's a
They-
harsh one.
They only got two ways to think.
They only got two ways to think. Come on, let's talk, son. Sons,
I said
talk.
they only got two
I
ways
want to
to
hear what
think.
y'all got to say.
We got two ways.
We have two X
We
chromosomes.
do have it, well,
We don't have two X chromosomes, so we don't.
And what about the X chromosomes? I'm glad you brought that up.
We don't deal with.
So what is missing from your chromosomes?
We don't have that. We have
A
Y
leg.
chromosomes. Not.
Missing a leg, ain't
It's
you?
not missing one.
You missing a leg.
And we have more.
Why are you missing a
we have
leg?
more portals than the man.
Okay.
The two X's make 300. Is 360 degrees 2 times. 720.
Don't be laughing, Fatima. Why you laughing, Fatima?
And the Y chromosome is out of.
How'd y'all make up for that
X.
deficit?
How we make up? We got consult. The,
Huh? How did y'all
consult
make up for the
woman.
deficit? I'm just gonna tell y'all how y'all
Honor and
made up.
mother.
Patriarchy.
Because they
Oh,
stop
you
women
mean
from
the term
doing stuff
for
and
the-
making it a
but
man's
that's not,
job.
That's why the men
They
feel
stop
more
women from doing
empowered.
certain
Doesn't patriarchy make
They
up
try
for
to make it
powerful?
seem like it's the man. I bet you I can do
Let's
it
be
better.
real. Let's talk. There's a lot of sons
I bet you I
here.
can do it better than the man.
Y'all know y'all come to nationality and the realization of nationality well before the mama does. He trying to hold it.
Oh, he said he don't do that kind of stuff.
What? What don't you do?
Women and the men and the patriarchy and the men being.
What does that mean?
Feeling
Don't
more
do what kind of
empowered.
stuff?
Yeah,
What does that
He
mean?
said he ain't arguing with it.
Oh, okay, good. That's a good position.
He ain't arguing
I
with
didn't
it.
exactly.
That's a good position to be
I
in.
do this to help make the offset ISIS an asset
Islam.
because that's where she graces God.
Islam.
Right. So our job is to provide and protect the asset,
Which is,
which is mother.
thank you.
Matriarchal.
Thank you.
Matrimony is mother's money.
Islam.
So therefore we.
So when we sit here and set laws, right, and we sit here and say, those Albions down there,
we just carry it out.
thank you.
Once
So
we,
why? So who's the Moorish
complicate
Imperial Guard, and who is to protect?
the man?
Thank you. Who's protecting in every other nation?
The man.
And what is the so-called Albions identifying as highwaymen doing?
Denationalized.
No, what are they
They're
doing?
policy enforcing.
What are they doing?
They're commercial mercenaries.
Huh?
Extorting and stalking the natural people.
Yeah, but what are they doing that y'all should be doing?
They're regulating traffic.
They're protecting their women.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
they're protecting their women.
Not necessarily their women. They're protecting their society, right, and their women. And that is their job. So every so-called county office, it's all women.
Right.
Well, I wouldn't call. Okay, it's all okay.
Behind the desk.
Right. And who's out patrolling the streets?
The men.
The man.
So the question, sons, what y'all waiting for?
That's what I said. It was the man's job. in the
I know I'm gonna put everybody on blast. Mama don't just get it all.
Get her mind right.
Mama don't get it all.
Once mommy gets her mind
But
right,
what is that
then
stopping
we
you
can
from
go
doing
out and
it?
carry out.
Yeah, but mommy already got her mind right.
Exactly.
Not all of them.
You don't need them all right.
Some of them.
No, you don't.
Like you just said.
You don't need them all right. All you need is at least 1, 2, 4, 6. Y'all got y'all got thousands of them out there sitting here like, what y'all waiting for, sons?
Yep.
This is like the bee.
Like I have a lot of sons ask, right?
How they
Where's
protect
our
the
army?
interests.
Where's our enforcement? You look at it every day in the mirror when you brush your
It's a
teeth.
standing army.
Huh?
It's a
And
standing
you know
army.
why it's
Right.
so hard?
But guess what? No, it ain't no hard. It ain't
No,
hard.
for
Wait a
us.
minute.
Okay.
Cause what? Guess what? When y'all want to go see tits and ass at strip joints, y'all don't got problem getting there. When y'all want to sit here and join motorcycle clubs, y'all ain't got a job in there. When y'all want to sit here and join Masonic orders, y'all ain't got a job there. So why is everything else easy for y'all, but standing up for your women
It's
and your
hard.
society difficult?
Because they taught
Answer.
them.
It's not difficult.
Because the society taught them how.
The gangs. We didn't even talk about gangs.
How it's all right for a single parent to be a single parent, or say a woman to do stuff.
Do you realize most women, most
But don't
so-called
mean that.
households of the Asiatic women, we did everything.
Mm-hmm. And I still do
Everything.
everything.
Guess why it wasn't difficult? Because we were in unity.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't. If you had to work late at the temples, guess what? Your babies ate. They got put to bed from the women that were in the society. You ain't have to worry about nothing. The children didn't have to go to so-called schools or back in or daycares. The women took care of everybody. The whole community. There was no such thing as an
Coming
orphan.
together.
And if somebody died in battle, it was. I mean, of course, the children would mourn for their mothers and their fathers, but the whole society took care of those children. Where are they going now?
Jails, foster
Kelly always
kids,
adopted
dead.
him. Kelly always
Of course,
adopted
they adopted them because they want that's a bank account. I mean, they look at them as an EBT card. What's up, baby?
To your question,
Sacrifice.
soul, spirit,
Whichever
man.
one they want to do it. You ain't even king out for
Yeah, so what was man?
What is man? So spirit
Man,
man, as
seed
seed
of
of Allah, held deep within himself the attributes of every part of Allah.
Well, that's
Read
the
that
woman.
again.
Because
A
Allah
spirit,
is
you
feminine.
keep. I'm a.
Yeah.
Is what?
Allah's feminine. That's right.
So the spirit man, as seed of Allah, held deep within himself the attributes of every part of Allah. Now seeds are perfect, ye as perfect as the source from which they come. Is that bring?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, you gotta hit it. I can't hit it. Hit it. So we got what? Now seeds are perfect, ye as perfect as the source from which they came, but they are not unfolded into life made manifest. The child is as perfect as the mother is. A child is as perfect as the mother is. So if the mom is flawed, baby gonna be flawed. Unless they got that spirit of Allah within them that can kind of cancel out. But don't you need a little bit of culture? Don't you need a little bit of astrology to know your pressure points? To know when you need to leave people alone, when you need to isolate yourself, when you need to go engage other counsels, or when you need to not be in a relationship with an individual who's chaotic.
Yeah.
If your consort is not adding value to you and vice versa, y'all are beating each other up. And we got to realize a lot of the relationships that we actually are in are for benefits. It could be financial, sexual, or just because you don't want to be by yourself in the bed. That's how basic a lot of our needs be. We be acting like our needs are. But if the son you're with or the matriarch you're with is not adding value to you, y'all need to separate. The children should not be a burden, because guess what? They're gonna be fine whether daddy and mommy's in the house or outside the house. And it is your responsibility to cultivate those relationships and not sit here and use a third party as an informant, mom, as the informant, sending all these sons into POW camps because they're not providing for you when you were supposed to be providing for yourself as a Moorish American national, because you are wealthy. But you sitting here subjugating your sons yet again to sit here and provide for you. Ain't his responsibility. It's never been. It's never been his responsibility to provide for you, because you're the wealthiest people on the planet. I know I'm making you mad. I don't care. Gonna bang that ass till the bones bleed.
I see blood.
You understand? So stop looking at your sons. How 1 minute you want them to protect you, the next minute you throwing them all in the POW camps. Does that make sense to you? For what? And you throwing them in there for what? serve notes?
Hate not worth nothing.
Do y'all realize how deep in sin you are in? You can't even shovel it all by yourself. We're here to help. So, your child can't be no more perfect than mom is. So man, the seed must be deeply planted in the soil that he might grow, unfold, as does the bud unfolds to show the flower. The human seed that came forth from the heart of Allah was foreordained to be the Lord of the plane of soul and of the plane of things made manifest. So Allah, the husbandman of everything that is, grew forth the human seed onto the soil of soul. It grew apace, and man became a living soul, and he became the Lord of all the kingdoms of the soul. Hark! Now, let every creature hear. The plane of soul is but the ether of the spirit plane, vibrating not so fast. In the slower rhythms of this plane, the essence of life are made manifest. The perfumes and the odors, the true sensations, and all of love manifest. So what am I saying? I could read this, I could go on and on. I want you to read chapter 1 of the Circle 7 Quran, but in other editions, it's the introduction. In other versions of the Quran, it's the introduction, and then the chapters start with chapter 1 with the education of Mary and Elizabeth of Zion, Egypt. But the first chapter tells you where you went wrong. It said, what did it say? Does anybody know? Let every living thing stand still and hear. Man is the Lord of all the planes of manifest, of protoplast, of mineral, of plant, of beast. I'm going to say that 3 times. Of beast, of beast. But he gave it up. He gave up his birthrights. Let me say that again. He gave up his birthrights just to gratify his lower self.
Indeed.
But man will regain his lost estate, his heritage. But he must do so in a conflict that cannot be told in words. Yea, he must suffer trials and temptations, manifold. But let him know that the cherubims and the seraphims that rule the stations of the sun and the spirit of the mighty Allah, who rule the solar stars, are his protector and his guide. And they will lead to victory. So yeah, you're going to go through some trials and tribulations. So yeah, when that policy enforcer pulls you over, yeah, that's one of those trials and one of those tribulations, because you lost your estate by coming down into your lower self. You did that. So yeah, you think, okay, where's the army? Oh, y'all going to have to do some standing, y'all. You want a nationality. To be in a nationality is to be a standing. To declare and proclaim your nationality and have a status is to be in standing. So how you going to sit here and declare and proclaim your nationality and be scared to stand? They can't do nothing to you. Your mind has been colonized by TV, by everything. They can do nothing to you. And you're getting so many examples. You're getting many examples on TV where they stand mute when you know who you are. And you proclaim it. And you stay in personam jurisdiction. Keep in mind, the ancestors are utilizing these albions to test you. And that's a hard thing for our people to realize, because they don't do the spirit work. They don't do all that. They just be like, oh, I'm going to declare and proclaim my nationality. I'm going to go claim your house. And then when that policy enforcer, which is mama, come walking in, who are you? And then you start fumbling. You forget the mantra. Or you didn't memorize the mantra because you was too busy watching what? What y'all like to watch today?
Love and hip hop.
Who? Love and hip hop? Is Love and hip hop gonna save you when you getting pulled over by policy enforcers? Is Love and hip hop gonna go to the tribunal with you when you make a special appearance? So you might want to put that on pause till you learn the mantra. Speaking of mantra, speaking of mantra, let me tell you. Go to bed saying it before you go to bed at night after you say the prayer. Does anybody know the prayer? What's the prayer? Allah, Father of the universe,
Wait. Can I read it?
Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation. Just read that to you. By night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noble Jew Ali. Amen. Say it 3 times. Does anybody know the significance of 5 on the right, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, 5 on the left? What's the significance of that? I've been trying to get that information for like the past while, because I need to know why. I'm a Sag. You can't just tell me 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Well, why?
Wow.
Is anybody going to post that on social media so I'll know? Why 5 on the left, 2 on the right? Does anybody know? I know. This is one of the conundrums I've always had, and I've always asked which one. Tell me why. Because I need to know why.
What it was, but I'm trying to. I got a brain for it. I know it's the.
So did we write that prayer down?
He said 7 senses.
To who? 7. I know why it's 7, but why 5 on one hand and 2 on another hand, and why on that specific side?
Because the left comes first, then the right. Well, left represents feminine, and right is masculine.
That sounds great. Oh, so right means 5 and left means 2, and feminine and masculine. Damn, they was trying to tell you who got more power with the I just have to read home this in, because our sons are so subject to this patriarchy. They are really losing their minds right now.
Yes.
Really. Y'all really are losing it, but y'all really got to regain it. And mommy, that was kind of her way of getting back at you. Oh, you wanna put me in patriarchy? All right, I'm not gonna tell you who you are. That make a little sense?
Yeah.
It makes sense that mommy and son is warring against each other. Why is mommy and son warring against each other? Because he done put her ass under patriarchy. Could that be a little bit of part of it? I am not your subject. What? I just made you 20 years ago. You think you ruler of me? Okay. I ain't telling you who you are. Fail safe. But is it a fail safe? Because if he doesn't know who he is and the laws and the fact that he's God. Holy second to you, mommy.
Yeah, but what if they bang you? Like, suppose you got both parents banging you.
Banging you? What you mean when you say banging you?
I'm sitting here studying, checking out stuff like astrology and other things, Wicca, who these angels, what it's all this about. This is back in 2007. I'm studying hard, and they see me studying, and I get hit by my mother.
Hitting your face or hitting the head?
No, well, more like banged in the head, like this is evil. What are you doing?
Can I tell you why she do that?
And my father, they both jumped on me.
Can I tell you why?
Why?
Because there was a time in history where if you were caught learning your culture, wearing your turbans and your fezzes and your garbs and your sandals, you'd get killed. They take you, they beat you, they might even kill your parents. So they have trauma that they're dealing with. But it's all mental now. And it's all in the past. Right? So that's why they were miseducated to believe their culture and their science and their heritage was voodooism, was demonic, and that's what Christendom did to them. And it's continued to do to them. Christian black codes. So that's why they do it.
The Secret Treaty of Verona, okay, Article 3.
And guess what? If you turn away from them for a while, they're gonna miss you more than they miss that damn mystical God. I guarantee you this. Because guess what? Where are they going? Do y'all ever see these old folks? Let me kick it to mommy where she's going, because of her sin that she put her children in. And left them defenseless, not only to keep the communities going, but now they don't have the ability to take care of her when she needs it. When she's about 80, 70, when the memory starts to fade, when she starts to get Alzheimer's because of the food she might be eating, because of the pills she might be taking, because of the surgery she's going through, all because of her eating habits. So now she don't remember who she is. And sons and daughters are in either POW camps or working their butts off to take care of their children under subjugation, which she put them in. So now they are defenseless to help you. So where all of our mothers at? Where they at?
Dead.
In the nursing home.
Thank you. They're in nursing facilities. And guess who the number one individual killing you in the hospitals and nursing homes? Who's the ones that are poking you with all these pills and medicines that they don't know? It's like how I was talking about in the movie. There was this one individual. If the baby cried too much, they knew that baby felt. And if the baby cried too much, they've stuck an injection in the back of their heads and killed them. Now, the individual who was doing that was ignorant, but he's going to be held to the violence he created. And when he comes to the realization of what he's been doing his whole entire life, he might not be able to take the guilt. He might kill himself. The guilt of doing these things. Because once you become conscious and aware and realize what you've been doing as a nurse, killing people, poking them with poison, your ignorance does not absolve you for the sin you're in. Only thing that will get you out of it is you. By returning to yourself and stopping the sin your mother put you in. So when they're in nursing facilities, they're poking you, they're taking all types of, they're taking everything from you. They're not giving you anything to defend yourself. And you're going to be dead within maybe, out of a nursing home, maybe between 5 years. But then some people come from such deplorable situations that they go into nursing homes and they thrive a little bit. Well, that's because they're taking their meds every day, they're getting fed every day. But that's how it works in those facilities. But you got your moms and your dads in these facilities, and they're taking everything from them. And guess what? Because you signed those documents, those contracts as a ward, they're gonna take all the property too when they die. You ain't getting nothing. Do you deserve it? Probably not. She didn't have it to begin with. Because she was property, she created heirs that were property. Everything they had was under the so-called corporate state. That's where you're in now. So all these little beautiful cars that you drive and all of these homes that you have, they're not yours. And they're going to show you real soon just how much they're not yours. So if you are smart, and if you gain knowledge, and you declare and proclaim your nationality, you will no longer be in the sin your mother put you in. And don't put your babies and your mothers in these nursing facilities. Take care of them. Even though they didn't do the same thing to you. I mean, it is what it is. They raised you with in a deficit. You're at a deficit. You don't know law. You don't know yourself. When you go out to the world, it doesn't make sense to you. You just sit there and take it and take it and take it. And I know how you feel because at one point I was there. Wondering, why is life so difficult? Why are our communities so bad? Why are we so victimized? Because you're in sin. And your property, and they don't have to, they can treat their property any way they want. I know that's hard, but it's reality. And when I say I'm going to bang that ass, it only means I'm going to bang this law into you until you get it. I'm going to bang this law into you until you get it. But I like the way I'm going to bang that ass. I like that better. I just like the way it sounds, and y'all actually watch a video that says that versus I'm going to bang this law. I'm going to bang this law until you get it. But bang that ass, like, ooh, what's this about? So I got to give you cool titles. So yeah, where was I at? So man gave it up. He gave it up to satisfy his lower self. And what are some of the ways man satisfies his lower self?
Soldiers of sex force. I mean, that's big pump.
All right, are y'all having sex with anybody besides the Asiatic women? I'm just gonna say that. Won't go there. No. What I mean is, you're only having sex when you're having sex with an Asiatic woman. Outside of that, I don't know what it is that you're doing, and I don't know either.
I mean, this spell broke out.
I'm gonna mess with you today. Y'all made me bad yesterday. I'm messing with you today because y'all made me bad yesterday.
You could look at old movies.
What are you looking
old
at?
movies wouldn't show.
I don't know.
You don't know what to say?
Intercourse.
What?
These new movies,
Talking, Neb. You're so quiet.
That subject.
Always so
You know,
quiet.
go off
It gets worse, man.
and- You're not showing. You're not showing.
I'm gonna keep banging that ass to the bills.
So it's so that's what it is. Sex, the lower self. That's what you were saying.
What?
Anything on the material level.
Anything on the material level? Yep. The food too. Y'all be sending the heck out of food. Food too. Let me tell you. People be like, Sharon, what we gonna eat for dinner? I don't know. I don't think about it like that. I'm like, I'll go get a damn Nutribar and be fine.
Right.
I do like my spirits though. Don't get it twisted. I gotta get out of this matrix because y'all drive me crazy. Y'all don't drive me crazy. Y'all drive me in love. Y'all drive me in love because I be like, is somebody else gonna be beside Sharon, banging that
Yes, to the bones bleed.
to the bones bleed, right? Yesterday, the day before, I did like 4 leans. Septa got one because I'm about done y'all. Done y'all. How you gonna create these stupid cards that don't ever work, and then they want you to get another card and charge you for that other card, even though the old card don't work? I don't like you, Septa.
Did you experience?
And I done leaned all you damn leader teams. Y'all all lean. You ain't gotta worry about it. It's done.
Did you experience using the key card and when you don't go through, it takes your money off anyway?
I have no idea because I don't track it like that. And I don't record, I don't register nothing. So I be like, no, I ain't registering this. Just give me another card.
It's a term on the back. It's a
Terror
regulation.
regulations.
So
They're
you
moving
subject
the
yourself
tax
to use the card and
Yeah,
then take money.
they can't do that.
They lean. Don't get. It's gonna change because you're gonna only need your nationality identification card when you go on those public transportation facilities who are operating at Morocco on our land, utilizing our resources. Because and you ain't paid us yet. So Septa, where's our finance? Where's our gold, silver coins from this time you started? Because you ain't paid the sovereigns. We got a lovely handful of sovereigns in here. And they're going to be tiling property and sending y'all bills. Because y'all going to be paying. You're no longer going to squat. Let's talk about how are they squatting on our lands and why they sit here trying to act like they got all this wealth. They don't have it. Why do you think they put so much finance in subjugating you Moors, right? Because the only way they got it is if you don't claim it. The only way they have it is if you don't claim it.
Under the abandonment laws.
Under the abandonment laws and the fact that there's nobody there to rebut their claim.
Right.
You gonna come in here and talk about, this is my house. I've been in here for 47 years. I have paid every bill. I am Felice Jackson, a resident of the state of California. They be looking at you like, okay, get out. I'm just saying, y'all can keep playing this game all y'all want. But guess what? What the prophet said, y'all gonna be running to the consulate. Y'all gonna be running to the temples to clear this matter up. Really soon.
It's coming.
I'm telling you, I'm just here as a being of light who's here to bang that ass to the bones.
Trading Places, another good movie.
Yes, Trading Places. Let me tell you, because guess what they can't do? They have to tell you the truth.
Oh yeah.
Do you realize that?
Yeah.
They just chose a way that you wouldn't pay attention.
Right.
Yep.
So they tell you in movies, they'll put your fezzes thinking that it's going to create some type of linkage. And y'all be like, oh, that's a cool little hat they have on. You don't even realize that's your temple. That's yours. As soon as they see you with your fezzes and your turbans on, they know who you are. They knew who you are when you took them all off. And what did George Washington say? If we take what? If we take the turbans off their heads, the fezzes, their cultural garb and their slippers off, and we mix them all up. So tribes, if you think you belong to the Wichita, you think you belong to the Seminole, y'all all the same. Ain't no difference between either one of you. You're all the same, because guess what? When they were sitting here enslaving y'all all got mixed up. And the reality is, based on chapter 25, y'all all come from one mother anyway.
Yes, Mom.
Don't even matter what tribe you belong. So stop calling me talking about, I belong to the tribe of. I'm like, you're a Moor.
More powerful.
The Moor is what
She said stop calling
the Moor is what stuck you to the land. That those other labels, they don't mean anything. I'm here to tell you. The Moor is what sticks you on the land and takes you off to sea. So, miss me with that. I'm sorry. I love you none the same. I just ain't, like, let me tell you, when I started my search, started with Ancestry.com, which normally is everybody's start. Because when you ask mommy and grandma, guess what? They already messed them up. They don't know. They don't even know who they are. They forgot who they are. You think that's a mistake? That's by accident? All of a sudden, all of your elders have amnesia and Alzheimer's? And you don't think it has anything to do with the vaccinations that they get? The well visits they go to? The metals they put in their teeth? They ain't got nothing to do with that? The foods they feed them? But keep in mind, somebody said to me yesterday, colonization is the problem. It's colonization's fault. Whose fault is it really? Why is it our fault?
Who said?
Because we allowed it to happen.
Because we can sit here and act like we are not these awesome beings that been here millions and millions of times before. So when we're about to eat that, whatever, our brains say, don't eat that.
Happy meal.
Like, huh?
Eat that happy meal.
Eat that. Ooh. Ugh. Let me tell you, when I travel past Burger King, the smell makes me nauseous. Nauseous. What are they cooking? I wonder.
Human parts.
So when y'all sit here and talk about you go Popeye's chicken,
Children is going missing.
children's go missing. Like we sit here and it's not funny, and it's really not funny. Like, Mom, you really messed us up, and I'm here to sit here and tell you just gotta fix it.
Oh, wow. I just saw a movie last night called Kidnap with Halle Berry. And they were abducting children, big ring across 7 or 8 states. And they actually hit up for sale to do stuff.
That's the first time you saw it?
Yeah, last night. Yeah.
No, I mean that type of activity.
That's the first time I actually seen it in a movie that actually could happen. Because you see the video, you see the pictures, people missing, but you don't see, the operation.
Because who is controlling the media?
There was just a story in Michigan. It was about, I think, 128.
Because they have to tell the truth. They tell the truth. Guess who ignores it? We do. Guess who doesn't contract to say, look, y'all, how about you Asiatics that work for journalism? How about you start working for your nation to find out where all these missing babies are? How about you do some journalism, some real work, finding your babies that are missing? Because if my baby was missing and if your baby was missing, that is as if it was my baby. And we should care about all of these babies missing. And it is all of our responsibility to find it, to create groups, to start searching. But Mom, stop putting your babies in sin. That's where it can seriously stop. Because guess what? The frequency will increase all over the land. Yep. And then we'll see each other as one another. And it, just like how in the back, if you saw somebody's daughter walking down the street and she was 6 years old and she was by herself, you'd be like, where are you going? I'll take you where you're going. As opposed to little girls today be like, who are you? Don't talk to me. I ain't. But get all flippy with it. Right? I was like, so Mom has to take a better care of society. Because mothers run society, not sons, not so-called fictitious governments or corporations. It's mother. And mother has to take care of her progeny and stop raising and creating property. Islam? So the one thing I want to get to the crux of it is the so-called Federal Reserve note. I gotta show y'all how they put everything on top of your stuff, man. Oh goodness. What is a Federal Reserve note?
A piece of paper.
Black's Law. It is a piece of paper.
It's a note.
It's a corporate piece of paper. Who's supposed to have Federal Reserve notes?
Federal agents.
Federal agents. Who's a federal agent in here?
We are. None of us.
Oh my God. You gotta go.
None of us.
He messing with you.
I'm about to say, you gotta get out. You gotta go in timeout. We're gonna start putting y'all in timeout. We're gonna do that. All right, Federal Reserve note. He's gonna look it up. Only federal employees are supposed to have that. Who are federal employees?
Administrators.
Yes.
Citizens.
And U.S. citizens are primarily corporations, not flesh and blood babies.
Right.
So technically, none of us are supposed to have these.
It's a foreign, private, for-profit corporation.
Is it in there? Federal Reserve note?
Right now.
Oh, it does? Okay.
You're looking it
So
up right
Federal
now.
Reserve notes, the only things that are supposed to have it are United States citizens, corporate. These are corporations. These are corporations. Only corporations are supposed to be so-called transferring it between corporations. But that's the fraud they put on. What year did they start this?
19.
1933.
Yeah.
I don't know why we be thinking 1913.
I thought it was.
That's because the Federal Reserve Bank, but it's really 1933, because that's when they took the, did away with the
When they
gold
first
clause.
got over here?
That's when that corporation did away with the gold clause and abrogated, did away the gold standard and abrogated the gold clause.
Yeah, but when did the Federal Reserve note actually come into circulation? That's what we need to know.
What is that for?
I thought it was 1933 too. I don't know why people. I know they created the whole.
It's the Federal Reserve's before that.
I wish I had my.
What was 1830? What was 1834? Is 1834?
1834.
I mean 18.
So we got the Federal Reserve note. We ain't got it. They're gonna make me look it up.
Which was the one that came at 18?
It's not in the fourth.
It's
It's not in the fourth, right? Because
The Federal Reserve.
it was after that.
That was in 17. Wait, that was in 14.
Yeah, all right, I have it.
No,
It's here in
14.
6th edition, Black's Law Dictionary.
What does it say?
It says 1913.
1913.
There you go.
The paper currency circulation in the United States.
So 1913 was when the so-called paper currency.
Currency, yep.
In the what?
In the United States.
Now, what did y'all get from that definition?
No, they had a year you said.
Paper currency.
In 1913, there wasn't paper currency.
Yep, exactly.
Gold?
They changed it
For who though?
for the United States citizens.
It was regulated by God. That's the government ordinance department. That's the judicial, the legislative, and the executive branches of the United States, which is the colonies, originally the United Colonies of Great Britain. And that was their commerce. Still is. It's not our commerce.
Yeah.
But we're caught up in their operation. So
Why are we caught up in there?
Congress adjourned Senate did in 1861. But what they did was
Put
they
that fake
created a
fiat.
fake Congress, who are the majority of them are members of the Bar Association. So therefore they committed treason that they were claiming to be
And they dissolved their
so-called
status and
American-
standing in
right.
Morocco.
well, they didn't want to operate under the Islamic principles.
Right.
That was one of them was
Sharia
fatwa.
law.
You couldn't have a member of the bar
Right.
operating for office.
Right.
Lincoln was in there, but the Romans put him in there,
And claimed
and so
to
it was
be-
deceptive.
claimed to be
They put him in there. They ran him on another platform, and
claimed
the
to be
people didn't know the
allegiant to
difference.
the
Yeah.
Constitution for the United States for America.
Right. That's why. That's why it's still
doing
doing it.
claim to uphold.
That's why it's still doing that.
It's
take
still
that
running for the
oath.
United States Service
You're a member
Corporation.
of
Got
the
everybody
bar.
thinking they're running for
Treason.
president. Say it again. I'm sorry. Say it again.
I'm saying you cannot take the oath of office on the Constitution for the United States for America and be a member of the bar at the same time.
Well, the reality
That's
is,
why they're doing democracy. That's why they're getting away with it right now. It's a fraudulent
Because they pledge their allegiance to the nationals anyway. They pledge their honor,
Just got it.
the life, liberty, and property to the Moors.
They're still doing it, but
Right.
they're doing it fraudulently. But they're still doing it because in order for them to keep going.
By being a member of the bar.
Right.
Robin's birthday?
Fraudulent because
Robin sent that?
was
That's what it
actually
looked like they
a
said.
constitutional
Changed the
lawyer.
route.
Was that?
Barack Obama was actually a constitutional lawyer, so he
Yeah.
was, you know what I mean,
Right.
with the bar. So
He's a member of the bar.
at
You're a
the
member
same
of the bar,
time,
you commit
still,
treason anyway.
at the
What we
same
got,
time,
what we have to take from this is one. One, in 1861, they dissolved their platform.
Right.
They dissolved their platform and they established a corporate platform after the so-called war, and they
Right.
finished the war. So they finished the war, which dissolved their platform, and then they created the corporate platform, which was no longer so-called government, so-called standing, so-called commerce, right?
Right.
So that platform, but then the Asiatics, the Moors, how they didn't understand this, I cannot tell you. And I know it had everything to do with the war and us being subjugated around that time. And there's still a lot of there's still a lot of fuzziness going on as to what happened and why we accepted this status. But it had everything to do with subjugation,
Right.
as well as our own wearing turbans and fezzes selling us out.
Right.
Well, they were using the
Don't want to go too deep.
No, I know. The Popes of Rome took advantage of an opportunity of the Secret Treaty of Verona, Articles 1 and 3 specifically, and they saw it as an opportunity to occupy the Moroccan Empire, take control of it. So the creation of this democracy was the avenue for them to create their commerce and take over. They actually occupied, not occupy us, but they occupy the land with their commerce, and so there's so much that they got us thinking that they're it, that that's us. No, it's not. That's just the business.
How did the so-called Federal Reserve note
Breaking down the republic. Okay, go ahead. Finish. I want to finish. Go ahead.
Go ahead, sister. Go ahead.
I was finished.
The point I'm trying to make is that this system was placed on top of our de jure government because we established a certain means of them paying the corporations. All corporations that are under, let's say, the United States umbrella, commerce, is supposed to be paying the government lawful currency, which is what?
Gold and
silver coin, right? Gold and silver coin is the lawful currency that they're supposed to pay, and all of their so-called infrastructures is running around with this, with notes. And they're requiring you and I to settle so-called payments in this, which makes us what? Makes us not necessarily subject, but keeps us implicit, right? Which is why the liens are so important. Because every corporation is supposed to be liened at Morocco until this is no longer accepted.
Has to be dissolved.
Has to be. Because you as the sovereigns are not subject to this. Now, right now, many Moorish American nationals are only utilizing this as trade because of the lack of access, let's say, to the gold and silver. But that's going to change. That's already changed. It's already over because they've already started minting our money. They've already started minting our money, and they know that we're about to come and get it. Oop. And they know we're about to come and get it, right? We've already sent commands out there to give it. Every Moorish American national has a credit of 100 million? Is it 100 million? I think it's 100 million. You can thank your Moorish National Republic federal government and judiciary team, who works every month, every Monday, banging that
ass to the bone, please,
to get this system off. Now, understand why this system is so important to them. Why is it important to them? You need to understand why this system is important to them.
Because it's what keeps their system going.
Thank you. It what keeps their system going. And what is their system, right? Because think about it. We go to plantation jobs to get this in order to utilize it in the corporations, right? And the reasons why they subject us is because they know only these two individuals are supposed to have it, right? So this is why they hold on to it, right? So the reasons why you lien them is to stop that infrastructure, to stop them from acting as if they have a status above us with the Federal Reserve notes, which they don't have. They've laid that on top because everything is prepaid for Moorish American nationals because you're sovereigns, you're heirs. So whenever you go anywhere, all you have to do is sign for it. And it gets transferred from one trust to another trust. Realizing where I'm getting at here? That's why the trust is so important, because when you cannot receive your $100 million if you ain't got your trust set up. And you can't transfer stuff, and they won't recognize you unless you know who you are. Right? So whoever's running around without all of these things, they can still try to mess with you. Still try to take stuff from you. And every contract is binding, not just here, but in the plane of spirit and soul. Because everything we write automatically manifests. Automatic. Whether it's good or bad. So write positive stuff, y'all. And stop thinking about the negative stuff so much. Get that out your brain. Because everything negative go out. It's like a what? A bamboo? What's that?
A boomerang.
A boomerang. It's gonna come right back, hit you in the head. So only put out stuff that's gonna hit you with a flower, as opposed to a steak. Right? So the Federal Reserve note system is going, and that's why you lien, because they're outside of an alignment, they're outside of contract. And right now, they'll be begging us to get back into some type of standing and status, because all of the world's governments all over are no longer accepting what this is based on, which is what is it, T-bonds?
Treasury bonds.
They ain't accepting none of those. They're only generating within now, and they ain't even generating nothing within. Because what did the prophet say? The industry's going to close, and then it's going to open back up what? And when it opens back up, if you ain't in grid 1 and grid 2 in claimed land, how you get? Well, you gonna still have $100 million to play with, but how you gonna keep generating, right? Because think about real estate, right? When you declare proclaim your nationality, you establish your trust, and now you start tiling property. And now you tile property. Go to places where people been violating you. So go to where all the so-called counties are. Where all the counties are, that's where all they work. They live in all those areas. Because they walk from, they put on their little costume, and then they walk right across the street to the so-called county building and hypothecate everything you have. So that's where you want to start claiming land, if you ask me. After you do the first 3 properties that you want to domicile in. So the first 3 properties you want to domicile in, make sure you pick ones that you like. Pick ones that you love. Pick beautiful ones. Because many of the so-called $1 million ones, they vacant. Because none of them can afford them things. They can't afford none of those. They vacant. Fannie Mae or other so-called corporations are claiming to own them, but can a corporation own anything? No. Why? It's a corporation. And why?
It's an artificial.
It's dead. It only exists where? Can it claim anything? No. How can it claim anything if it can't even talk? Right? So the point I'm trying to make is that you need to be claiming land and then send them bills. Like, okay, time to pay the pauper. And I ain't a pauper, because a pauper's a what? An indigent. Is a peasant. Time to pay the pauper. I wonder where they get that terminology from. Because the paupers never get paid. That's why they. Oh. Anyway, so once you start tiling up property and then you convey them into your trust, you start sending bills to those foreigners that are hypothecated. Now, for your babies, for your blacks and Negroes, they're your family. So they're your tribe. So you can't really be bad to them. Just let them stay there. Just tile up their property. So if somebody tries to come and hypothecate it, you go down there and be like, nope, that's my heir. Go down the street. You know what I'm saying? So you want to protect them, even though they're sitting here trying to treat you like the outcast, when they're the outcast, because they're cast out to sea. They swimming, dog paddling. I was at the restaurant the other day and I said, can I get a doggy bag? And I thought about that for a second. It was like, no, I don't need a damn doggy bag. Can I get a container? You see the things that we say just out of... That's why you got to stop watching movies, man. They'll rot your brain if you don't know what you're looking at. So, tile up the property. So once you tile up property, you send them bills. Right? And if they don't want to pay, then you do what? And guess who's going to do that? The sheriffs, the ones that are actual sheriffs, because the sheriff speaks for who? The people. And who the people? The sovereigns. And who the sovereigns? So why they acting like they here to support corporations? So should you lean all your so-called sheriff's departments to make sure they know who their jobs are? Yes. Yeah, already from the rip, just so they can get back in alignment. Because it's the lien. They're gonna close out of that fraud. They're gonna open back in de jure. Because of all of the work that the Moors have been doing, you're recording with no problem. So take your butts down there and record your titles. And if you want to, take your butt down there and say, look, I need you to sign my writ of execution. I'll be going into the property in a couple days. If you want to. You ain't got to, because guess what? Why don't you have to?
The sheriff can do it.
Huh?
But the sheriff will collect all the keys and go to the property and kick the people out.
Yeah, but what if the sheriff forgot he speaks for the people?
Well, they have an oath to defend your constitution.
You can lean them.
That's your national will.
Yeah.
Well, you can lean them too.
But if they're belligerent, what's your recourse?
If they're belligerent, what's our
recourse?
Bring them to the voting league.
Are they in those capacities if they are violating?
No.
And why are they not in those capacities if they're violating?
Why are they not in the capacities if they're violating?
Right.
Out of honor.
Out of honor, out of oath. breach of trust.
Yeah.
Because you're the sovereigns, you can give them a title and you can do what?
Take it away.
So if they say, oh, we're not going to do something, then you'd be like, okay, well, you're already lead anyway, but I'm going to go, because the only signature on this writ of execution that was required and necessary was from my government and the sovereigns of my land, which is me. You don't need a permission, you don't need you don't need no permission or no signature from any hypothecator or any corporate ward, because can we really act like we don't know that they're wards, subject? They're wards and subject. They think they're subject to this, but they're subject to the Moroccans.
Right.
They're subject to me and you. Regardless, they try to say, oh, I'm not under your jurisdiction. Well, what jurisdiction are you under? Can you tell me, clarify? What jurisdiction are you under? And they're not going to tell you. They're going to be like, oh, I'm under the jurisdiction of the state of Illinois. But the state of Illinois only exists on paper, so you're trying to say you're dead. So if you try to say you're dead, you done put yourself in the same situation. So now you my property. I just salvaged you. Salvage them. Put them in your trust as subjects. All of them.
Bleeding bones.
She said, "Oh, you going
because if they sit here and say, oh, I'm a U.S. citizen," they just told you they salvageable as property. Just like how you were salvageable, they're salvageable. That's why they mad. Because they realize they are salvageable by anybody that wants them. We don't. We're gonna cast you out to let some other shit pick you up. We're gonna float you out if you don't get back in honor of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and honor the supreme laws of the land, which are
the supreme laws of the land, Constitution, the Treaty of Friendship and Peace, Articles of Confederation.
And what was the first one that they had to do? Declaration of Independence. Y'all gotta read that first. Because if y'all read that, y'all realize all the things they doing to y'all. Declaration of Independence. And we're gonna end on that note. Because we only got 30 minutes in here. Well, it's 5, but I'm leaving at 4:30. Because it's my son's born day today. My beautiful heir, Trayvon Richard Gale Bay, turned 15 today.
Oh, wow.
My beautiful heir. Because mommy, the best gift I could ever give him was what? Nationality. So he is no longer what? In property.
No longer in sin.
No longer in sin. I'm no longer in sin. And that's the best gift I could ever give my child. And that's the best gift you can ever give your children. So if you ain't did nothing, declare and proclaim that nationality, Moors. And we're going to leave on the note of the mantra. 3 people got to say the mantra before we end. Who knows the mantra? I already know 2 people that know the mantra. I know I gave one Moorish American National Consul Fatima homework last week. So is Fatima. So is Fatima ready to read the mantra today?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, she's ready.
I'm not getting up.
You're not going to get up? Just make sure you can inflect your voice so all can hear.
Oh my goodness.
You got it, Noble.
Come on, Noble. She knows she got it. I'm gonna bring that little nervousness out of you. Ready?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I am Fatima Yasmin El Basir Bey, and proprio persona sui juris, and proprio solo, and proprio heredis at all times. I am a descendant of the great pharaohs of Kemet, and the Canaanites. And the Moabites and Canaanites. I am an Aboriginal, Indigenous, Moorish, American national, and I am exercising all of my rights at this time and at all points in time. I command you to state your name and nationality for the record, on the record, without further comment. Yes, you are commanded to return. No, wait a minute. You are commanded to state your name, nationality on the record, for the record, immediately, without further comment. I am the law, I am the government, and you do not have jurisdiction over me. I command you to set me free immediately, return my property immediately, cease and desist all actions and contact immediately. This is my due process of intent to This is my due process of my notice to intent to lien you if you do not do as you are commanded and set me free.
It's on. Pass that to more. Damn. Ooh. It's almost done. We almost done. That's gonna fall.
Yes.
It's long. It's long.
It's
Appropriately. It's in focus?
Right.
It's long. Who else knows the mantra? Nobody else knows the mantra?
Does everyone know what the mantra is?
Wait a minute.
I have it written down. I don't
You ever written
memorize
down?
it. I haven't memorized it yet.
You want to stand up and say it?
You want me to?
Do you want to? Hey, that's public notice of your status, baby. Public notice of your status. Over there in the camera.
Over here in the camera.
Yeah, she was being shy.
I am Ty Ali Bey, a Moorish American national and proper person. I should sue juris in proper soul and proper heredis at all times and points in time. I am a descendant of the great pharaohs of Kemet and the Moabites and Canaanites. I am the law, I am the government, and I command you state your name and nationality on the record, for the record, without further comment. You do not have jurisdiction over me, and I command you set me free. Return my property and cease and desist all actions against me. This is my notice of intent to lien you if you do not do as I commanded and set me free. Notice to agent is notice to principal, and notice to principal is notice to agent.
It's long. Oh, you see that fire? That fire and desire. Anybody else? One more person. Y'all can read if y'all want to.
Matawa.
Matawa? You want to do a Matawa? Go ahead, Matawa. She got some sea stars in her belly. She got some sea stars in there. It's long.
I am Matawa Ali Bey, a Moorish American national, in proper persona, in
Sujuris,
and propria solo, and propria hinders,
Heredis.
I'm gonna get this right. At all times, at all points in time, I am a descendant of the beast.
Of the beast?
Of the great. It look like a beast. Look like the great pharaoh of Kemet and the Moabites and Canaanites. I am the law, and I am the government. And I command you to state your name and your nationality, on the record, for the record, and without further comment. You do not have jurisdiction over me, and I command you to set me free, return my property, and cease and desist all actions against me. This is my notice of intent to lien you. If you do not do as I command and set me free, notice to agent is notice to principal, and notice to principal is notice to agent.
It's long. It's long. Anybody else want to do it? One more. Come on, one of you Moabite men. One of the Moabite men. Come on, one of the twins. Y'all can read theirs. Nobody gonna read it? Well, y'all can read it together. Go up there together. I got you. Yeah.
All right.
You need the paper? Give them the paper.
This one is going to be powerful.
It's long. I know. Double the trouble.
There you go.
I love it.
Come on,
Love
man.
it.
It's
Y'all making me happy. Oh, I love it.
All right. My appellation is Tihama Tarael. No, I was just saying appellation for you guys. I am Tihama Tarael, and I am Jericho Jarael. I am Moorish American national in propria persona. In propria persona, sui juris, and propria solo. And propria heredis at all times, in all points in time. I am a descendant of the great pharaohs of Kemet and the Moabite and Canaanite. I am the law. I am the government. Did I skip something?
I think you did.
I am the descendant of the great pharaohs of Kemet and the Moabite and Canaanites. I did say that. Okay. I am the law. I am the government, and I command you state your name and nationality on the record, for the record.
He got you.
Further,
That's fine. I wrote that.
you do not have jurisdiction. You do not have jurisdiction over me, and I command you set up.
Set you up, right?
Set up.
Set me free, return my property, and
free.
cease and desist all actions.
Cease and desist. No, I'm sorry. Let me start that over. I'm sorry. Okay. You do not have jurisdiction over me, and I command you
Set me free.
set me free.
And what's this right here?
Return my property.
Return my.
Okay. Return
that's
my
return.
property. Return my property.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
And what's this?
Heck, I can't tell.
Cease and desist all actions.
Oh, cease and desist.
Cease
All
and desist
action against me.
This is my notice to.
Notice
Notice of intent to lien.
I'm sorry. This is.
And if
Go ahead.
if you do not do as
Commanded.
commanded and set me free,
Notice the agent is notice the principal, and notice the principal is notice the agent.
Oh.
Good job.
We set you up.
Go ahead, do it together.
Okay.
Read it together.
All right,
No
all right.
twins. Frequency.
Are you ready? Hold on. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. We gotta say the calculations first. Okay. So, all right. I am Tihama Tarael.
I am Jericho Jerael.
I am a Moorish American national and propria persona, sui juris and propria solo,
and propria
Heredis.
at all times and all points in time. I am a descendant of the great pharaohs of Kemet
and the Moabites and Canaanites. I am the law. I am the government, and I
command you to state your name and nationality on the. Oh, sorry.
On the record.
on the record for the record. I know it right.
On the record, for the record,
Without further comment.
without further comment, you do not have jurisdiction over me, and I command you.
And you.
I'm right here.
Oh, here you are.
Yeah, you do not have jurisdiction over me, and I command
That's probably how they study.
set me free.
It is too.
Set me free and return my property and
Cease and desist
cease and desist
all actions against me.
This is my mother. Oh,
This is
Notice.
This is my notice of intent to lien you if you do not do as commanded and set me free. Notice the agent is notice the principal. Notice the principal is notice the agent. It's long. That was my handwriting.
Wasn't
that bad? It's long.
I'm write it down from here.
I've already got it written. I mean, I should write it down myself.
My
Oh,
camera. You got me on camera.
Before you move,
Pax that to more. Peace and love. It's the end of the actual broadcast. Push end.
can I modify it to
Finish.
spelling out?
Yeah.